unsuspecting woman on campus.
Robin has just finished volunteering for a piano recital at a performing arts center. Unfortunately, she's a young woman in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He lurks in the shadows, stalking her before grabbing her from behind. For the briefest of moments, he holds her tight, quickly glancing to make sure no witnesses are around. Robin is terrified, pulling at his hand, trying to scream for help.
Soon after she gave up her purse, he began to stab her multiple times.
He keeps stabbing even after she's down. He keeps at it, in fact, until the car moving through the parking lot scares him off.
Her body is discovered moments after the attack by a college professor.
An individual who had been given a ride to her car came upon the scene and immediately notified the authorities, called 911.
Orange County homicide detectives arrive on the scene to one of the most gruesome killings they have ever encountered in Mission Viejo.
Robin was stabbed 41 times. She was laying in a pool of her own blood next to her car. Next to her body was her open purse. Nothing was taken.
The professor is asked to ID the body. She can barely say her name. She's so upset. Robin was her student.
They had very little, if anything, to go on. They had no solid leads. They could not even determine a motive. There was no evidence a robbery had taken place. The police had to assume that her killer must have known her. There must have been some personal connection, some personal reason for this horrific crime.
Typically, detectives would start with the people closest to the victim, boyfriends, family, close acquaintances, and they would move further out to classmates or co-workers, people a little further away in terms of a relationship.
After months of investigation, the case drags on.
It was clearly a mysterious, horrific crime that left the police very little to go on. And it shocked the conscience of the entire community.
It creates an intense amount of anxiety, especially when homicide detectives sit in on Robin's classes, gauging possible suspects.
But true suspects never really materialize here. They can't find anybody that would, really want to hurt her. She was outgoing, pretty, very intelligent. She was full of life, and everyone loved her.
By all reports, Robin was a wonderful, delightful, intelligent, funny young lady, responsible young adult, had several friends, was destined for great things. And the person that killed her prevented all of those great things that Robin was destined for.
It was a joy to be with. She was very happy. She liked to make people laugh. She was interested in writing, but Saddleback has a really good communications department. She was the disc jockey and did the news and public service announcements, and she was good at it, and she liked it. We were blessed to have this girl in our lives for 23 years.
Robin's murder whips into a sensationalized media storm, criticizing homicide investigators' inability to produce a prime suspect.
They could find no offender. They had no solid leads to go on.
We've been quite a bit of concern around Mission Viejo with the case dragging on for so many months.
You really have to be aware of the fact that surveillance cameras, especially on college campuses, weren't what they are today. And you combine that with the fact that there were no witnesses and no physical evidence, it made it really difficult to nail down a suspect.
One can only imagine how traumatic this is for Robin's family.
Initially, when the phone would ring in the beginning, the first year or two, I would think, maybe that's the sheriff. They're going to tell us that they've made an arrest. And then after the years went on, it just I'd really pretty much given up hope.
The FBI puts their skilled profilers on the case because you want to ensure, as an investigator, that there isn't already somebody in the federal system worth looking at.
But FBI profilers find no matches to active killers in their database. The simple truth is, the investigation is going cold, quickly.
No detective ever wants to face a grieving family without being able to provide them some sort of closure, some information as to what happened to their loved one. For a detective, really, that means failure. It's beginning to look like this mysterious, faceless killer is going to get away with it.
With all investigative avenues exhausted, Robin Brandley's murder ends up in Orange County Homicide's cold case files. But what authorities do not know is that Robin is just the beginning. 2,000 miles away, and 10 years later, in the district of Wolf Lake, south of Chicago proper, he strikes again.
Mid-April of 1996, a person during the morning hours, a nature walker of sorts, was walking near Wolf Lake, near the shoreline, when he discovered a nude body of a female floating face down. He immediately called 911, and both police from Hammond, Indiana, as well as the Chicago police arrived. It was discovered that the body was on the Illinois side of the lake, so the Chicago police had jurisdiction over this matter.
There's not a lot of evidence. There's no clothing or any of her personal belongings left behind.
Wolf Lake is a very, very remote, secluded lake between the Illinois-Indiana border, an industrial area. Nobody lived nearby it. Nobody worked near it. Certainly at night, it was a perfect place to be alone with somebody.
Wolf Lake is a small lake just between Chicago and Hammond. It's sort of famous back in the days of Capone for having bodies dumped there. But since that time, it's become more of a natural reserve with recreational sport and kind of a day fishing spot.
Detectives arrive on the scene.
She had been shot twice. Her naked body had been removed by fire department personnel and transported to the Cook County Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy.
With no way to identify the young woman, detectives hope the autopsy will shed some light.
They found no identification anywhere near her body, no clothes. It was a mystery at that point, and she was considered a Jane Doe.
With Jane Does, dental records and fingerprints are typically run through police files.
They had to wait for the body to dry out before they could take her fingerprints. They did discover that she had a tattoo of a heart on her body.
A fingerprint match reveals the victim is 24-year-old Laura Ulaki of Hammond, Indiana.
Laura had a previous arrest for prostitution in 1995, so her fingerprints came up in the system.
There had been 2 gunshot wounds, one in Laura's face and another behind her shoulder. There were bullets lodged in her body. Those bullets were recovered by the medical examiner, sent to the Illinois State Police Crime Lab, where they were found to be .38 caliber bullets.
Police begin to look into Laura's life for possible clues that might help identify her killer.
Laura came from a big family. She had a lot of friends.
Around the time of her death, she was beginning to frequent some bars and clubs in Hammond. She was beginning to use drugs and getting involved with the wrong people.
Whether she'd been paid for sex by her killer is a possibility. Which means there's a high probability she met him in the clubs she frequented in and around Hammond. And her murder turns into another cold case, leaving Chicago detectives stuck.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Oh, silver vans are going for more right now, should we? Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up, you think? We just did 2.5%!
Now! Already sold to Carvana. Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
We have a deal. Thanks, everyone.
Can you imagine if it was a million instead of a billion?
We'd be so fired.
Check the outer notes.
Yes, multiple meetings say billion with a B. We've got this.
Otter, you got this.
Litter Robot has now solved the litter box problem for over 1 million pet parents around the world. Hi, I'm Brad Baxter, founder of Whisker and Litter Robot. You'll never scoop again, and your cat will always have a clean bed of litter. Try Litter Robot today.
Pulaski Kirker sponsors this paid advertisement for legal services and is responsible for legal services. Attention, consumers who have used the heartburn medication Zantac between 1980 and 2019. The prescription and over-the-counter medication Zantac has been linked to cancer. Ranitidine may break down into a probable human carcinogen, NDMA, which has been linked to cancers of the liver, kidney, pancreas, esophagus, stomach, bladder, breast, prostate, and colon. Zantac was recalled and pulled from the market in 2020. Several manufacturers of the heartburn medication Zantac have already entered into settlements for consumers who have developed cancer after using these medications. If you or a loved one took the heartburn medication Zantac and were recently diagnosed with cancer, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call now to see if you qualify. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG. That's 1-800-BAD-DRUG. 1-800-BAD-DRUG.
The summer fun means one thing. It's time to visibly say goodbye to crow's feet, fine lines, wrinkles, and under-eye bags, and say hello to smooth, beautiful, younger-looking skin with Plexiderm. Plexiderm smooths away wrinkles without foundation, without color makeup, and without expensive procedures. Best of all, you could try it for only $14.95 this summer.
This isn't the first time I've been on TV raving about this product. It's amazing. My friends, my family, they can't believe it. Nothing works like this.
I've had under-eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm. I put it on my face, and I'm not joking. It works.
So take action this summer and pack up your under-eye bags and wrinkles and put them on vacation with Plexiderm. Try our summertime special and get it for only $14.95, plus get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Poshmark is the perfect side hustle. It got me through school, a new job, and getting into my first apartment. There's so much I can sell. Bags, accessories, home decor, and it's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You can do it in a minute. I love it.
Bras fit small-chested women like this. Atrocious gapping. This. Meet Pepper. No more cup gaps or awkward fits. Specially designed for AA to B cups. The bra reinvented for small boobs.
Discover new Dove Whole Body Invisible Cream, a new whole body deodorant that's blissfully coconut and vanilla scented for all-day whole body confidence. It's Dove Care, made for anywhere. Try new Dove Whole Body Deodorant.
What happens in Vegas stays. Not anymore. Play Quick Hit Slots, the free-to-play mobile slots game that everyone is playing from coast to coast. Download Quick Hit Slots for free and get a 6 million coin bonus. Make every day a winning day.
Hey.
Hey, I'm inside the bank. Where's the $500?
What?
I don't have much time. Where's the $500?
I said drop your bank, not rob your bank.
What?
I said drop your bank and get Dave. The banking app?
Yeah, I thought this was a lot of work for $500.
You think?
I mean, I would love it if you could come get me.
Oh, no. Oh, she's going to jail.
Hello?
There's an easier way you can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less when you download Dave.
If you have ugly yellow toe fungus, let me tell you about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. It's called Crystal Flush. It works from the inside and the outside. I mean, he tried everything. Nothing helped. His toes were nasty. Crystal Flush is the only thing that's worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. And you can try it risk-free. You have nothing to lose. Go check it out now. Go to crystalflush.com.
A young student's savage murder on campus stuns the community of Mission Viejo and sends panic throughout the college. But the case goes cold when another girl turns up dead in a suburban lake near Chicago 10 years later. Investigators have no idea they're dealing with a serial killer, a killer who is but a ghost. July 14th, 1996. The body of another young woman is found in Livingston County, south of Chicago.
While still investigating Lori Lackey's murder with no real breakthroughs, another girl is found in the Vermilion River a couple hours south of Wolf Lake.
She had been shot several times. She had been stabbed. And like Laura's body, It was nude in a body of water with no identification. Fishermen had come to the Vermilion River, discovered her body, and immediately called the police. Her body was taken to the medical examiner there in Livingston County.
Medical examiners find that she had been handcuffed and duct tape had been placed over her mouth.
They did discover that she had a tattoo of CC on her body.
She's identified as 21-year-old Cassandra Corum.
She was a young lady in the Hammond, Indiana area. Cassandra Corum's family had sent out a flyer looking for her. They had reported her missing, and they were obviously very concerned about her. And it wasn't until this tattoo was identified and pictures of Cassie was shown to her family, and they identified her.
Considering that Cassandra is also from Hammond, it suggests whoever killed her is hunting in the same place, but disposing of victims somewhere else.
During the autopsy, the medical examiner had revealed that Cassie had been shot 3 times. One of the bullets was lodged in her body. That bullet was also sent to the Illinois State Police Crime Lab, where it was found to also be a .38 caliber bullet.
A month later, a third victim ends up in Wolf Lake, in what is to be known as the Wolf Lake murders. August 2nd, 1996. 22-year-old Lynn Huber, a known prostitute from Chicago, is also murdered.
Almost in the identical location where Laura had been dumped months earlier, and he dumped Lynn Huber's body in Wolf Lake. Lynn's body is removed from the water and taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy.
Lynn shot not once, but twice. The first shot kills her, so he then shot her again after she was dead. And there were a lot of stab wounds, predominantly in the back, that again were done after she was dead. This means that not only is he getting bolder, he's also getting more aggressive post-mortem.
Yet they have no eyewitnesses, no gun or knife, no real forensic evidence to find this guy.
However, when Lynn Huber's body was examined at the Cook County Medical Examiner's office, the medical examiner found a bullet lodged in her body that also was a .38 caliber bullet. All of those bullets were examined by the Illinois State Police Crime Lab, and it was determined that all of the women were killed by the same gun, a .38 caliber pistol.
So by early August of 1996, we have 2 police departments from 2 jurisdictions dealing with the bodies of 3 women who were found nude in bodies of water in secluded areas. All of these victims have been shot by the same gun. So police now believe they're dealing with a serial killer.
April 1st, 1997. Officers respond to a disturbance call between a known prostitute and her client at a Hammond hotel.
They had gone on, dates in the past. All of those dates ended up at Wolf Lake, where there would be sex in exchange for money.
She tells police that they had been arguing about money.
This lady had stolen some checks from a checkbook he had in his glove compartment. This infuriated him. They got into an argument during which he was chasing her around the truck with a knife, trying to kill her. The police were called, but by then he'd left the scene.
She starts telling the police he wants to drive out to Wolf Lake, take me in the back of his pickup truck, handcuff me, and have sex.
She did not want to do that. In fact, she didn't even want to go to Wolf Lake anymore.
What she was saying sounded very similar to the MO of the Wolf Lake killer. The officer even tells her she shouldn't be doing that because they've had women killed up in the Wolf Lake area. While he's listening to her, he recognizes the man's name from a previous arrest.
Following the motel incident, the officer reviews his prior firearm violation arrest of a South Chicago mall security guard named Andrew Urdiales, who tells him he's a former Marine.
He's so sure of his hunch that he prepares a supplemental report suggesting that this former Marine is a prime suspect in the Wolf Lake killings.
November of 1996, he was working on patrol in Hammond, Indiana, when he and other officers came upon a crack house. Urdiales and his pickup truck and an unknown female were sitting in the truck out in front of this crack house. They approached the vehicle. They were interviewing Urdiales and this young lady, during which a search of the vehicle revealed a .38 caliber pistol. Urdiales told the Hammond police officers he was a security guard. He used the pistol for work.
Urdiales was not licensed to carry a gun in the state of Indiana, so officers charged him with a misdemeanor and they confiscated the weapon. A judge later ordered that the gun be destroyed.
Remember how shiny and thick your hair was when you were younger? Wouldn't you love to get it back? Well, now you can. Today, Cindy Crawford is sharing with you her secret to gorgeous, younger-looking hair at every age. The Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair Care Deluxe System. Everyone talks about your skin getting older, but nobody really talks about what getting older does to your hair. No one really told me that my hair was going to age, the texture was going to change, it was going to become more brittle, it was going to just be lackluster. And I look at my daughter, I was like, she has my old hair, I want it back. And that became my new passion for Meaningful Beauty.
Now what Meaningful Beauty does for your skin, it can do for your hair. Cindy's Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair Care Deluxe System can give you beautiful, vibrant, younger-looking hair because it's the first system scientifically shown to transform aging hair 6 ways.
I did need this. I really did. My hair has volume again. It's shiny, it's so soft and smooth.
After Cindy started using Meaningful Beauty, I was really amazed by the change that happened. There was elasticity and bounce and shine that came back in her hair that I hadn't seen in many years.
This remarkable Meaningful Beauty system is really different, and here's why. Scientists know that healthy, youthful hair is impossible without a healthy scalp. So our experts created an incredible breakthrough, our restorative scalp treatment, full of age-defying ingredients, including our exclusive Melon Youth molecule and Melon Leaf stem cell technology. This invigorating spray helps nourish hair follicles, replenish vital amino acids, and hydrate and revitalize your scalp, so your hair looks thicker, shinier, younger.
In developing Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair, I learned a lot, and one of the things I learned is that it starts with the scalp. I'd never used a scalp treatment before. I'd use, volumizers or detanglers, but a product that really was to kind of prep your scalp to be a great environment to grow healthy hair, that was a new concept to me. So we figured out a way to create a good environment to grow healthy hair.
And the magic doesn't stop there. Our strengthening shampoo adds moisture and increases elasticity and resilience to resist breakage. Our smooth and shiny conditioner delivers softer texture and amazing shine. And our styling and protecting spray detangles, smooths, and protects hair from heat. This Meaningful Beauty system has become Cindy's secret to gorgeous hair for women everywhere because it doubles hydration, doubles hair strength, and leaves your hair twice as soft and twice as smooth. And you'll see 100% more hair volume and 100% more shine. And stronger, smoother hair means less breakage, so you keep more hair on your head and less on your brush. Every woman who tried Meaningful Beauty saw younger looking hair, so you'll see 100% improvement, 100% guaranteed.
Oh my goodness, it's awesome. It just feels beautiful. It feels soft. Now when I look in the mirror, it's kind of fun because I'll be like, wow, my hair looks good. It just gives you this confidence and it makes you kind of want to just go out and show off your hair.
My husband's like, where did you get all these beautiful curls from? My curls have volume. Like they have that youthful bounce that I thought I lost forever. And my hair just feels and looks like it's just young again.
Ready to age-proof your hair the way Cindy does? Today, you can get the Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair Care Deluxe System and save with our very special limited time offer. Order now and you'll receive Cindy's restorative scalp treatment, her strengthening shampoo, her smooth and shiny conditioner, and her styling and protecting spray. Altogether an $88 value for just $54.95. But order in the next 5 minutes and save an additional 25%. You'll pay just $41.21 for a total savings of more than 50%. Call or order online in the next 5 minutes and you'll also get free shipping. Plus, Cindy's favorite brush to gently detangle and reduce hair breakage as a free gift. And every order of Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair comes with our 60-day money-back guarantee.
Meaningful Beauty started with take care of your skin and go out and live your best life. And now with Meaningful Beauty Age-Proof Hair, it's like, okay, got you, and go out and just have fun.
Remember what your hair was like when you were younger? Now you can get it back. The softness, the shine, the youthful vibrance with Cindy Crawford's Meaningful Beauty. Meaningful Beauty age-proof hair care is not available in stores, and this offer will not last. So don't wait. Go to mbhair.com or call the number on the screen now.
Coming up next on True Crime Network.
Chicago District Detectives have no clue a link exists between 3 recent murders of local prostitutes and a college student murdered 10 years prior in California. The 3 Chicago area murders have all been committed using the same gun, a .38 revolver. Hammond, Indiana police have just linked a .38 revolver in their custody to a former mall security guard named Andrew Urdiales.
Now, the Hammond, Indiana Police Department communicated all of this information to the Chicago Police Department. The Chicago Police Detectives raced to Hammond, Indiana as soon as they could and got out of inventory Andrew Urdiales' pistol that was destined to be destroyed. Thank God it hadn't been destroyed by mid-April of 1997, when that gun was analyzed with all of the bullets from Lori Olaki's body, Cassandra Coram's body, and Lynn Huber's body. And scientists from the Illinois State Police were able to determine that that gun, to the exclusion of every gun in the world, was the gun that was used in shooting all of those bullets and all of those women. It was Andrew Urdiales' gun.
Detectives arrest him at his parents' South Chicago home.
He was wearing his security guard uniform, he had a duty belt on, he had a badge, and he willingly accompanied the detectives to the police station for an interview. He was glad to cooperate. He felt some type of a kinship with, real law enforcement officials.
Detectives interview Andrew Urdiales.
So they asked him where he got the gun from. He tells them he bought it for $300 5 months ago in Calumet City. He's almost matter-of-fact about it.
They asked him, did you ever let anybody use this gun besides yourself? He goes, no, absolutely not. The detectives then told Urdiales that gun was used to kill the 3 women, the pictures of whom was laying out in front of him. He looked at the detectives, he smiled, he stood up, and he said, well, I guess I'm not going to work today. He took off his duty belt, he took off his security guard badge, and then he proceeded to tell the detectives how he killed Lori Olaki, Cassandra Coram, and Lynn Huber.
Having been in homicide for so long, I can tell you it's unusual to have a suspect just give it up like that. The detectives must have been surprised that he was just ready to confess.
April 22nd, 1997. Andrew Urdiales is arrested for the murders of Laura Ulaki and Lynn Huber.
Today we're here to announce the arrest of Andrew Urdiales. He's been arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. And those murders are Laura Ulaki and Lynn Huber. A break came in this case as a result of a report that was submitted by a Hammond police officer. His name is Warren Fryer. And certain information was in that report that brought us into arresting Mr. Urdiales.
Urdiales shocks Cook County detectives when he tells them California authorities might also be interested to hear what he has to tell them. Cook County Homicide invites California's detective investigating the Robin Bradley case to Chicago's Area 2 headquarters.
We received a call from the Chicago Police Department that indicated they had arrested a serial murder suspect involved in several murders in their city, and indicated that They had strong suspicions that this could be the suspect involved in the killing of Robin Brandley.
Ernie Ellis tells investigators about how he came to be in California at the time of Robin's murder.
From 1984 to 1991, he was a communications officer in the Marines. He was stationed at Camp Pendleton just north of San Diego. He wasn't too popular in the Marines. In fact, he was given the nickname Corporal Urinalysis. It's also said that he had an odd twitch that makes it impossible for him to rise in the ranks. He was demoted instead.
During his career, he was deployed in Operation Desert Storm. He was a radio operator.
Eventually, in his police interview, he gets around to the night he killed Robin Brandley. According to his confession, he got into an argument with some of his subordinates at Camp Pendleton, which set him off. Basically, his rage sent him speeding down Interstate 5 through San Clemente into the Saddleback campus. It's later in the evening by the time he gets there, but he notices a few cars still in the parking lot.
You just burned the parking lot? Dark. Nothing else was to do with dark parking lot.
He didn't remember her name, but he remembered how she was dressed, how he snuck on the campus that night.
The woman thought she was walking all around the building, walking towards her car. Can you describe this woman who was walking towards the car? She was white.
He basically took a position in the shadows and waited. Robin Brandley was just a random female. Could have been anybody as far as he was concerned.
I said I wanted it first. It's like, just, what happens then? What happens then? Then, I just wanted to into where? The back.
From the beginning of his confession, you can hear how he weaves a disconnect into his narrative. It's almost like even though he's confessing, he's disassociating himself from any real responsibility. This is textbook sociopathic behavior. And so as anger builds to rage one night, he drives up the I-5 and murders an innocent girl. But he realizes he has to be more careful if he doesn't want to get caught. He'd have to prepare better and select victims that wouldn't cause the same mass media hysteria that Robin's murder created. So he decides to focus on prostitutes, runaways, people more difficult to trace. He rents a storage locker in San Diego to better organize and hide his weapons. He starts using a gun and stabs his victims after the fact. There's less chance of blood spatter once the heart has stopped beating, and therefore less chance of being caught. And hunts in cities further from Camp Pendleton. Some are deeper in the California desert. Some are less busy than a college campus.
He finds his second victim in the Coachella Valley in Cathedral City, just south of Palm Springs.
There's no shortage of prostitutes and runaway girls in Cathedral City. It's a very transient area. The second victim is Julie McGee, a known prostitute around town.
I had a 45. So I had the 45 on my seat. I picked it up and I walked over to the other side and I told her to get out. She walked over to the desert and I was going to point at her and it went off. How many times did you shot? She was shot once.
But Julie, like Robin Brandley before her, is destined to become another California cold case. It's only a few months later he strikes again in San Diego. Marianne Wells is a single mother, a mature student, and she moonlights as a sex trade worker.
Marianne Wells was left in an alley in an industrial area of San Diego, California.
He's getting more confident, but along with his arrogance, his urge is now impossible to resist. He's going to keep killing until he gets stopped.
In Palm Springs, Ernie Ellis finds his fourth and youngest victim, 18-year-old Tammy Irwin.
Tammy Irwin was left in the desert in the Palm Springs, California area.
So I remember her name was Tammy. We got in a car. Did you have a 45 with you when you were outside the truck? In my hand. The drone pointed at her. Okay. And slowly, I got my truck and I looked and I knew it was banding, but the next thing I know, the gun just pointed at her again. And it started more time.
The bodies of Julie McGee, Marianne Wells, and Tammy Irwin were found to have 45 caliber bullets in them. Those bullets were determined by authorities in California to be fired by the same gun. When Marianne Wells' body was discovered by San Diego police, there was a condom near her body. DNA samples were obtained from him, and it was discovered that was the DNA of Andrew Urdiales. So you had physical evidence that linked Urdiales to Marianne Wells' murder, coupled with the ballistic evidence that linked her murder to Julie McGee and Tammy Irwin. coupled with his detailed confessions to killing all three of those women. And by the end of April 1997, everybody knew that Andrew Urdiales was a serial killer, leaving victims in both Illinois and California.
He kills again on a return trip to California in March 1995. Her name was Denise Manny, a known prostitute in Cathedral City. Hers was by far one of the most gruesome crime scenes they found. She was mutilated, shot through the mouth, and left in the desert.
He talked about how he had killed Denise Maney with his second .45 caliber pistol. He left this pistol in a locker storage facility of sorts in the Palm Springs area, where he kept that pistol, a machete, rope, shovels, twine, things of that nature. He would keep this storage locker there in Palm Springs with all of these tools of his trade so that he wouldn't have to take them on a plane back to Chicago.
With each killing, he becomes more and more confident he can't be caught, until that one victim rattles his confidence. He confesses to detectives that one girl in California actually got away.
The dentist will be right in.
Hey, I heard you're retiring soon. You excited?
Yeah, Doc, but there's so much to consider. Medicare, finances. Oh, and I lose my dental insurance.
You can get your own from Physicians Mutual. Easiest decision ever. It's real dental insurance that's real affordable. Well, I think my work here is done.
Wait, what?
Hey, I heard you're retiring soon. You excited?
Affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. One of the easiest retirement decisions you can make. For a free information kit, call now. This dental insurance helps cover over 400 procedures. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. See any dentist you want with no deductibles and no annual maximum.
Well, I think my work here is done.
Wait, what?
To get your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
At Drive Time, you can do a lot in 30 seconds right on your phone. Like get approved, then start shopping thousands of cars with real terms, all with no hit to your credit in as little as 30 seconds. But this is a 15-second ad. It sure is. Go to drivetime.com and do a lot in not a lot of time.
Pulaski Kirker sponsors this paid advertisement for legal services and is responsible for legal services. Attention, consumers who have used the heartburn medication Zantac between 1980 and 2019. The prescription and over-the-counter medication Zantac has been linked to cancer. Ranitidine may break down into a probable human carcinogen, NDMA, which has been linked to cancers of the liver, kidney, pancreas, esophagus, stomach, bladder, breast, prostate, and colon. Zantac was recalled and pulled from the market in 2020. Several manufacturers of the heartburn medication Zantac have already entered into settlements for consumers who have developed cancer after using these medications. If you or a loved one took the heartburn medication Zantac and were recently diagnosed with cancer, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call now to see if you qualify. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG. That's 1-800-BAD-DRUG. 1-800-BAD-DRUG.
I'm just making the same mistakes over and over again. I'm trying, right? But when does it kick in? You owe me 10 grand. Who's this fella calling the shots?
Someone must have died. You can sort him.
No.
I'm scared. Don't blame me.
I'm really hoping this is all just some mix-up, because if it's not, you're dead.
Looking for a way to stretch the dollar? With Insurify, you can cut your car insurance bill in half. Scroll through dozens of prices and tap to switch online. That's it. No phone calls and no wasted time. Go to Insurify and save today.
They were gunned down.
This is a Stone Cold Killer.
Now, determined detectives will have to trace the ballistics to track down their shooter.
We are all hands on deck.
Targeted for murder. Next on True Crime Network.
Serial killer Andrew Urdiales is arrested and taken to Chicago's famed Area 2 division, where he confesses to savagely murdering 8 women in California and Illinois over a 10-year rampage. But when he admits one girl in Palm Springs got away from him, Detectives may have the witness they so desperately need.
During Urdiales' confession, investigators were careful to have him explain the killings and record it on tape, using details only the killer would know. However, they would still like to have their ace up their sleeve, for lack of a better term, before turning the case over to the district attorney's office. And that ace is the one victim who got away.
Her name is Jennifer Asmussen, and she's a certified nursing assistant working the graveyard shift in a handicapped children's facility when she accepts a ride from the absolute wrong guy.
Palm Springs, September 27th, 1992, 6 p.m.
One night, he is driving in Palm Springs when he saw Jennifer Asmussen, who was waiting at a bus stop, and unfortunately for her, she was late for work. He pulled up in his rent-a-car, asked if she needed a ride.
And I automatically said no. And all that ran through my mind is, I'm going to lose my job. This is a nice guy. Why am I so afraid of everything? And I just said, stop. Wait, I'll do it.
So she got in the car, and they started driving, started talking. She introduced herself. Her name was Jennifer. So we're driving, and we made a lot of small talk. Said something about being an actress, something like that.
He dropped her off at work, but before dropping her off, he asked for her phone number. She gave him a bogus phone number.
I tried to call her, but couldn't get through for some reason. It was a bad number, and I was a little kind of upset about that.
And he realized she had lied to him, which, if you're Andrew Urdiales, he did not like it when women lied to him.
So I got in my car, and I go back to that area, and I saw her.
Sure enough, she's getting off of work about 6 o'clock in the morning, and who's there? Andrew Urdiales in that car.
Asked her, I said, hey, how you doing? And she was last night. I asked her to get breakfast. She got in the car.
He came back the next morning, and he had gained my trust, and I trusted him. I got back in the car with him, and that's when he decided he was going to kill me.
And what happened next was a day out of hell.
And the thing I know, I saw, and I just reached over and I grabbed her by the hair, and then she got scared, and I produced the gun. She was pretty much submissive. Then went forward, and I told her to turn around. I tied her hands behind her back.
He has her tied up. He is brandishing this machete, this gun. At one point, after bashing her head onto the dashboard, she is overcome by fear. She passes out, and he picks her up and he puts her in the trunk of this rental car.
I walked her back to the car, and I opened the hood, and I stuffed her in there. Then I just pulled the trunk out of her. Then I just got in the car, and I just started driving off.
It's miraculous that she did not die after what she had endured up to this point. While he is driving with her in the trunk, she's able to release the latch of the trunk from the inside. He notices that, stops the car, tells her, close it. She does.
And then I tried to get back going again, and I got stuck. This time so soft on the shoulder, I got stuck.
This gives her an opportunity to release that trunk latch again. She does. She escapes out of the trunk, half naked, injured, and she starts running down this dirt road of sorts.
She had her hands free, and she still wearing her sweatshirt, and she ran screaming. And there were several cars nearby.
Lo and behold, there is a truck coming down the road with 2 Good Samaritans. They're able to rescue Jennifer. She's screaming, she's crying, and they wanted to chase after this guy. And she's like, no, he's got a gun.
So then last night I saw her. I'm not the other picture of the finish when I started, but I don't know.
Police are called, her mother is called, but by then, Urdiales has already returned his rent-a-car, and he's on a plane from Palm Springs back to Chicago.
It was very scary, yeah. Sometimes I kind of didn't want to get away because I didn't know I was going to be able to go in public anymore or do anything knowing that there's 6 people out there, but I just got to be strong now, and all I tell myself is that I fought for my life so I can live my life, and I'm not afraid anymore.
This was in September of 1992. It did not stop this man because in 1995 he returned to kill Denise Maney. And then, as we know, by the spring and summer of 1996, he's killing 3 more women, this time in the state of Illinois.
Miss Asbenson's testimony would be key to the prosecution's case. It's beginning to look like Andrew Urdialis is finally headed for the gas chamber.
But it takes 4 years before he even sees the inside of the courtroom.
One second, Grandma. This guy's gonna buy my car.
Okay, you need Carvana. Entering plate number. No accidents, right?
No.
Generating offer. Carvana can pick it up tomorrow.
That's an amazing offer.
Sell your car the easy way with Carvana.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At X-Chair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. With our groundbreaking Elemax technology, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience. At X-Chair, we've got our eye on the future of work, so you can focus on the present. Visit xchair.com to find out how you can own an X-Chair for only $20 a month. xchair.com.
I need Q1 full index reports from my desk by noon, complete with comprehensive data. Are you getting any of this? Charles.
Yep, Honors got the meeting notes. I'll ask it for action items on the channel. And Maria already asked for a budget reminder. Smart.
On by morning. Got it.
Got it, boss. Honor, you got this.
This summer, we're in a race against time as temperatures rise. Abused and neglected animals across the country are suffering right now in the unbearable, scorching heat. They're thirsty and panting, chained outside with no water, and many are desperately trying to hang on for just one more day.
Extreme heat can have a major impact on animals, and we see that all the time. You know, without shade, to be without shelter, without adequate water, and basically just left out there dealing with the baking sun all day.
Will you come forward to help save an animal in distress today? Visit joinaspca.org. Call this toll-free number or scan the code on your screen to be counted for this life-saving appeal. Donate now, and with your gift of just $19 a month, you can help save an animal's life this summer. Go online, call, or scan now. It's just 63 cents a day. We will put your gift to work right away, rescuing animals who might not survive if we don't get to them soon. But the situation is urgent, and tomorrow could be too late for an animal who is suffering in the sweltering heat right now.
In my mind, 1 more hour is not acceptable. These animals have suffered enough.
This is no way for any animal to live, and it's heartbreaking to imagine what they are going through. They're desperately trying to hang on, but time is running out. Your support is the help they need right now. Don't wait.
These animals have been dealing with that environment and probably much worse for a long time.
So visit our website, call this number, or scan the code on your screen, and donate just $19 a month. Do it in the next 10 minutes, and we'll send you this free welcome kit, including our limited edition Animal Champion t-shirt.
We cannot put an end to this type of animal cruelty without the generous support of the ASPCA donors.
If there ever was a time, this is it. So if you sign up in the next 10 minutes, we'll send you this free welcome kit, including this beautiful t-shirt for taking action right away to save an animal's life this summer.
These animals have suffered enough, and maybe you're going to be the reason why those animals will never have to suffer again.
We're in a race against time to reach vulnerable animals who are barely hanging on. Help rescue an animal today. Go online, call, or scan right now.
Dr. J, are you a real doctor?
I save seniors from painful, overpriced cell phone bills.
How?
I get them to switch to Freedom Pop, America's #1 cell service for seniors.
Just $10 a month for unlimited talk and text. Freedom Pop, America's #1 cell service for seniors.
This is the first ever TV commercial for a beach towel, a SandCloud beach towel. Sand-free, extra large, and worth advertising because they're worth buying. Buy them at sandcloud.com.
I was never able to find a bra that fit my small chest. Every bra gave me gaps, so I designed a bra that finally fits AA to B cups perfectly. No more cup gaps or looking 2 sizes bigger. Meet Pepper, the bras that actually fit small boobs.
It wasn't always like this. Dryness made sex painful and awkward. But Reverie's vaginal moisturizer brought back the spark.
Thousands of women have restored their vaginal moisture. Join them at Reverie.com.
Ballistics connects Chicago mall security and former Marine Andrew Urdiales to a string of violent, gruesome murders in Illinois and California. But a victim in California who survives his sadistic torture is the eyewitness that could send him to the gas chamber.
Today we here to announce the arrest of Andrew Urdiales. He's been arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. And those murders are Laura Ulacki and Lynn Huber.
Me and my partners were tasked with prosecuting Urdiales in Cook County, Illinois for the Chicago murders, specifically the murders of Laura Ulacki and Lynn Huber.
Following his arrest, Andrew Urdiales is held in a county correctional center for 4 years before he's tried in court.
Because it was a double murder, it was a death penalty case in Illinois, because at that time, Illinois had the death penalty.
Around the same time, coincidentally, the state of Illinois is caught up in a debate about abolishing the death penalty. The Urdiales case in particular becomes the center point of that argument, and the case is delayed for 4 years.